I waited for this new mic to arrive so I could make this video without having to deal with the restraints of my old setup, not sponsored by the way. Recently, the state of New York held electoral primaries for various offices across the state, namely the New York State Legislature and the subject of this video, the US House of Representatives, the lower body of Congress. That's this group, that's these people, the people that write the laws in the lower body of Congress. The mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, endorsed 3 candidates for the congressional seats in New York City, those being Claire Valdez for New York 7, Brad Lander for New York 10, and Daria Liza Avila Chevalier for New York 13. And following these primary wins, the Democratic Party establishment proceeded to welcome them in with open arms and... oh my stars and stripes.
Socialists are socialists, they should form their own party.
This is what the far left is telling us.
Pocahontas, Mamdani, I think you guys are destroying your party.
Socialists aren't Democrats.
Is that we can be common sense.
Israel comes to me in my dreams!
The recent primary wins from the New York City mayor's backed candidates for Congress has caused a bit of a strife within the Democratic Party. And I'm not here to over-exaggerate and act like the opinions of Twitter users are representative of the entire party. I mean, elected officials from the party are over-exaggerating and freaking out about this. Now, what I'm talking about is not actually new. I saw this headline when it first came out, and I didn't really pay much attention to it because, like most things centrists put forward, I didn't think it was going to really go anywhere. But it actually has gone somewhere because the recent wins from Mamdani's backed candidates has basically been the straw that broke the camel's back, and now this is on full force. What is this, you may ask? Well, the centrist Democrats are going out with their Promise to America. Before we dive into the Promise to America, let's talk about what a centrist is and who the centrists are that are, supporting this whole thing. And the definition of centrist in a political context, as defined by Merriam-Webster, means a grouping of political figures holding moderate views, especially between those of conservatives and liberals. Essentially, a centrist is someone who tries to take ideas from the right and the left and merge them together into one uniform ideology. Oftentimes, someone who identifies as centrist will say they want to win the middle or deliver common sense goals for the people while fighting back against the extreme left and the extreme right. The main elected official that's kind of headlining this whole Promise to America thing, Tom Suozzi, is like the poster boy for centrist Democrats. Additionally, the word centrist and the word moderate are sometimes used interchangeably. For example, the Promise to America describes its members as moderates, while the members themselves call themselves centrists, so they're basically the same word. Now, this article, Centrist Democrats Launch a New Pledge, We Are Capitalist, Not Socialist, comes from the Washington Compost, and I don't know about you, but I would rather throw my wallet into the fire of Mount Doom than throw any single amount of money at that poor excuse of a newspaper. But luckily, Tel Aviv Tom was very kind enough to tweet this, which links a mirror of the article onto his website. Voters aren't looking for ideological purity tests, they're looking for results. That is why I'm proud to help lead this effort to build a common sense and solutions-oriented Democratic Party. You may notice that the initial announcement for the Promise to America also mentions California Representative Adam Gray. Specifically, this tweet points out how these two members, Suozzi and Gray, were the only Democrats to flip seats that Trump won in 2024, and this technically is true, but Gavin Newsom redrew the seats for the redistricting, so obviously this isn't really true for Adam Gray anymore. Now, this announcement from Tom Suozzi was made on June 3rd, and I'm going to skip ahead to the 26th so I can go to this tweet from Adam Gray that promotes the Promise to America. America is strongest when we find common ground, reject false choices, and focus on what actually improves people's lives. That is what the Promise to America is about. It's a commitment to move beyond the politics of the extremes and focus on solving problems, creating opportunity, and making life better for the people we serve. A while back, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear stressed the importance to other Democrats that they need to really, talk like normal people. And I don't know about you, but what I just read was probably like the most textbook, cliche, just generic, boring, platitude politician announcement speech I've ever read. I feel like the average centrist or moderate voter would just say they want to bring the two parties together, or that both sides, conservative and liberal, have good ideas and they want both the best of both worlds. I don't think the average centrist voter describes their views as a commitment to move beyond the politics of the extremes and focus on solving problems, creating opportunity, and making life better for the people we serve. So what is this whole Promise to America all about? Let's look at their website, and let's do it live. Read our Promise to America. America is stronger than our politics. Politics forces false choices between extremes on right and left. We reject them. Too many Americans have not benefited from the last half-century of economic growth. Americans want an economy that lowers costs, expands opportunity, and rewards the people who work hard every day. Too many Americans have not benefited from the last half century of economic growth. They're so close to getting it. They are so close to getting it. The DSA and even just like liberals, like barely to the left of these people, will point out how like billionaires have hundreds of billions of dollars while like half the country that isn't billionaires lives paycheck to paycheck. And here they are saying how like so like the majority of Americans don't benefit from all like the money that these people get, the top executives and whatnot, and like they're saying it and they're so close to getting it. Even Mitt Romney of all people, who was a venture capitalist Republican running against Obama in 2012, even he nowadays says, yeah, we should tax the rich. Even Newsom is saying we need to tax the rich nationally. And these people, again, they're against that, but they're pointing out the issue right there. Whatever. This is just generic politician platitude. Like I'm pretty sure every politician running for office in America ever has said this like at least once in their campaign. This is just they all say this. Whatever. Americans want safe communities. That's a dog whistle at hard on crime people. And institutions that solve problems. That's a platitude. We believe in building more to lower costs and expand opportunity. Okay, building more. It seems like they're saying, because they use building, which means like, building houses. It seems like they're trying to get at building houses and expand opportunity. I don't know if they're specifically talking about housing, because I mean, I don't think these people have the right to talk about housing, considering like look at our housing prices like under like this is kind of like look at our housing prices under neoliberal capitalism. Like this system is not working. So I don't really know what they're going to do to lower costs by building more to expand opportunity. We believe Democrats succeed when we speak to the whole country and value persuasion over purity. I've seen Tom Suozzi use this one a lot too. Growth, competition, and broad prosperity. We are capitalist, not socialist. We believe in a growing, fair, and competitive economy that rewards hard work, innovation, entrepreneurship, and ownership. Whatever that means, that's really vague. Okay. Full-time work should make it possible to own a home, raise a family, afford healthcare, and retire with dignity. Okay, let's break this down one by one. Possible to own a home. Neoliberal centrist economic policy has gotten this result for us, where housing prices have skyrocketed and they are insanely outpacing wage growth. So that's dead on arrival. Raise a family. People don't have money to raise a family because their wages aren't high enough, or there's cuts to the services they depend on, or they can't afford a house, or AI is making their electric bills skyrocket, or there's a war overseas that's making everything expensive, and it's a war that centrist Democrats don't want to cancel. Yeah, there are a lot of problems with raising a family. It's expensive, and people can't really afford that if they don't have like universal childcare or Medicare for all, for example. Again, affordable universal healthcare will alleviate a huge burden on one's finances to help raise a family, but they don't say like how to tackle it. It's just platitudes and like promises and pledges. Afford healthcare. So Democrats in the more liberal or moderate or centrist camp will often tout the Affordable Care Act as a landmark thing that makes healthcare more affordable, which it is. Economic, permitting, and tax policy should expand opportunity and lower costs for workers, families, entrepreneurs, and those striving to join the middle class, not disproportionately favor those already at the top. They are doing it again. They're saying don't favor the people at the top, don't favor the billionaires and the CEOs that live in mansions and have $100 billion to do whatever they want. But they don't say tax the rich at all. Oh my goodness, it reads like satire of like bad politician talk. It's so bad. They're doing it again, whatever. Safety, security, and human dignity wants safety, law, not lawlessness. That's a dig at true crime, true crime. That's a call out to the tough on crime Democrats, and I guess Republicans too, but I don't think Republicans give a shit about this. We believe America deserves secure borders, safe communities, honest government, and an orderly immigration system that protects the country, strengthens the economy, and treats people with dignity. That is a statement with no plan behind it. I think I want honest government, but like, how do you want us to have an honest government? I would like secure borders, but like, what's the plan? I mean, there's been lots of plans before, like the plan that Trump killed, but like, there's a number of ways that we could go about this. Fiscal discipline. We are responsible, not reckless. A generation has passed since our party balanced the budget. I believe it was Clinton that last did that. We will prioritize tackling the national debt honestly. Please tell me how. Don't tell me you're going to do it. Tell me how you're going to do it. We must pay our bills and not leave our children in debt. I agree, but how are you going to do that? Government that works. We believe the government should solve problems, not create them. Government matters, but it must work. Public institutions should be competent and accountable, easier to navigate, capable. Okay, I think that we should have our institutions be very held to accountability and be like easier to navigate. But like that's gonna take a lot of planning to like figure out how we go about that. But again, it just goes on. It just goes on. It's all just platitudes and nonsense. We are mainstream, not extreme. We believe we can disagree without division. We stand for moderation, acceptance, respect, free expression, and democratic pluralism. We embrace a politics of persuasion over purity. I believe this was on, like the, hold on, persuasion over purity. Yeah, whatever that means. Whatever you mean by that. Contempt and cultural division. Again, it's just generic. We are proud, not ashamed of America. I think unconditionally supporting everything that the U.S. does as an American is not healthy. Like, I love this country. I love seeing the flag every day. I might disagree with how we handle things overseas or the people we have in office, like Trump, for example. I might not approve of how things are handled here at home, but listen to what I said. I call this place home. This place is my home, and I love being in this country. I've met so many good people in this country, and I love that we're here as a people. But that doesn't mean I'm not ashamed of America, like funding a genocide overseas when we have like real problems to deal with here at home. So I have been ashamed of America once before, and I am not ashamed to say that I've been ashamed of America once before. And they're saying like, oh, you have to be unconditionally patriotic, because if you scroll up on their Twitter account, which is like really, hold on, they were quote tweeting our revolution, because our revolution was making, yeah. So when this was like being, I don't know, relaunched, they said just call it the promise to donors, because yes, these people have like endless corporate donations. I'm just gonna go in the replies and see, yep, there they are. $4 million from AIPAC, $2 million, $1 million, almost $1 million, $500,000, only 30K of Adam Gray's a freshman. Well, yeah, freshman. 200K, 300K, but that's also a freshman. That's impressive for a fresh woman. I don't know, new member of Congress. The point is, these people have received millions of dollars from interest groups and are not the people that refuse to take monies from donors. And again, they're saying just call it the promise to donors, and they're saying like, hold on, where was it? Are you proud or ashamed to be an American? Like, they're saying you have to be unconditionally patriotic all the time, and they're saying like, oh, we have to be confident patriotism. We're proud, not ashamed. But like, you can be ashamed of your country, man. Like, I'm sure we've all been ashamed of our country before. It's so weird they have to point that out. This whole website is just platitudes. They've got no real platform. There's no real plans behind what they're proposing. It's just so bad. I can't believe they actually put this forward without actually putting at least one like strategy or plan behind their goals. It is so bad. It is just so bad. This Fox News graphic apparently came out while I was editing this, and this image is so funny, man. They say it's far left candidates who won primaries this election cycle, but they got like a guy endorsed by the Blue Dog Caucus, and they got like Alma Adams and John Nanian. Is that Tim Kennedy? What is he doing here? Oh boy, a video. I love these. Let's take a look at this one.
Right here in Massachusetts, the DSA just attacked a Promise to America signer, U.S. Afghan veteran, and state senator for the craziest reason.
Just a piece of advice to the Promise to Israel people. Can you please film these videos outside of your cars and in like a studio, or I don't know, outside in nature or in your house? Because the filmed inside of a car audio is definitely throwing me off. It really takes me out of the moment.
Let me show you what they were complaining about.
Last year, Senator Vilas took a break from helping his constituents to help MAGA by deploying to the southern border.
No, Senator Vilas didn't take a break. He serves his country in the National Guard. He protects the freedom you enjoy.
He protects the freedoms I enjoy? Protect me from what? The simple immigrants that are coming to the southern border to look for work? And of course, the number one person I trust to protect my freedoms is someone who is complicit in the very policies of the Trump administration that is eroding every single freedom known to man.
Instead, they called him a
Face deportation Democrats like John Vallis.
So in speaking out against the DSA's policies and advocating in favor of security for citizens, after witnessing the situation at the border firsthand while deployed with the National Guard, Senator Vilas was labeled a, quote, deportation Democrat. What he's really doing is displaying what it means to be a Promise to America signer. He's demonstrating both pragmatic governance and that there is a means to achieving safety without lawlessness. Join him in signing the promise today.
Recently, there was a vote in the U.S. House of Representatives to block $3.3 billion of military aid to Israel. The vote failed, but let's see how the Promise to America people voted on this amendment. Shout out to this user for making a map of the vote. Now, something I said in the live recording about the Promise to America is that their whole platform is just platitudes and not actually policy and plans behind them. And you can easily apply that same criticism to the DSA, but the difference is that while it seems true at a first glance, if we take a closer look at the DSA's website platform page, their policy slogans actually have some concrete plans behind them, and some policy slogans in themselves are a plan, like, abolish ICE or Medicare for all. So who exactly is behind the Promise to America? Well, 10 Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives are signatories to the Promise of America. Here they are. You may remember that conservative Democrats in the Blue Dog Caucus, like the ones that are a part of this pledge, were the same ones that tried to derail President Biden's agenda in 2021. Additionally, a handful of Democratic candidates for the U.S. House of Representatives are also signatories to this pledge, beyond just members of the House themselves. One of them is even in my own backyard. I recently skated up to the northern parts of my city trying to find a single picture of a Marlene Galan Woods sign for this video, and I could not find a single one of her signs after like 3 fucking hours. The point is I want my fucking time back. As for who's running this show, that's a different story. The director of the Promise to America is a guy named Felix Frisch. He's a college sophomore whose only job experience is working at a billionaire-funded pro-centrist political action committee called Welcome PAC, with his job being given to him by his dad. His dad is named Adam, and he was the Democratic nominee for a House district in Colorado where he narrowly lost to Lauren Boebert. Wait, he narrowly lost to Lauren Boebert by only... How many votes is that? What does that say? You had one fucking job! Felix has the most information about him on this website, so let's read what the website has to say about him. Felix has spent the past 2 years in the thick of American politics behind the wheel. He drove over 50,000 miles across western and southern Colorado during 2 close congressional campaigns, where he learned firsthand that issue-specific and authentic candidates matter to voters. Authentic candidates, the kind of people that say stuff like this.
Chevron, that's a problem with politics. They're not the bad guy. You need Chevron. I need Chevron.
On second thought, Mr. I Need Chevron is actually still too liberal for these people. He took those lessons to Washington, where he produced Welcome Fest 2025, the largest annual gathering of centrist Democrats. The largest annual gathering of centrist Democrats. Are you telling me that this meme tweet is, real? He's leading a team of 6 fellows who are frustrated by the state of politics and inspired by Democratic leaders willing to lead with specificity and courage. I feel like that courage is the courage that folds to Trump on the government shutdown, that kind of courage. This summer, the team is gathering signatures for the Promise to America, a document that unites elected officials, candidates, and ordinary Americans around a shared vision. Anyways, the other members of Promise to America include another college kid who worked as an intern for Chuck Schumer, Mr. Guardian of Israel, the Chuck Schumer that couldn't get more than 1 seat for the Democrats in 2022, after wasting $200 million on failed races in 2020. Yeah, that Chuck Schumer. Whoops. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Other members of the Promise to America include this lady who apparently worked as a lobbyist and at the Department of the Interior, this other lady who graduated from the University of Mississippi who works as a communications official for the Democratic Party, another college student, this time from UC Merced, I don't know. Not much to say here since that's all the website says about her. Another college student, apparently from UC Berkeley, she participated in a movement called Students Supporting Israel. And the last member is, you guessed it, another college student, but this one's not from California, this one's from Yale. Couldn't find much on him since his Instagram is private, but apparently he did voter outreach in his home state of New Jersey. While editing this video, another member joined the Promise to America team. Guess what? It's another college student. Woohoo. So in short, this whole grift is run by a bunch of college kids who are here to promote platitudes and the same do-nothing politicians that got us Trump elected twice. I think I should probably offer my own thoughts on this now. The party being a big tent party is absolutely not an issue with me. If anything, I'm actually more enthusiastic to vote for a party that's much more big tent, aka welcoming people between Joe Manchin and DAC. The problem with a big tent party is that you have to want a big tent, meaning you can't say, I want a big tent and then exclude all the socialists, or I want a big tent and then exclude the moderate Democrats that have to run in risky races. Embracing new ideas can actually be really good, but not those new ideas. The whole point is that I think it's good that people like Robert Garcia are team players. Generally, the only qualifier to be a Democrat these days is just to be anti-Trump, and hey, people like conservative Democrats and socialist Democrats have been perfectly anti-Trump. The point is, the party definitely has room for everyone in between, and I think that they should embrace that. Trying to embrace only the establishment neoliberals and conservative Democrats is only going to do the party more damage and make them look even more out of touch. I wanted to have this video be put out a lot sooner, but the inconvenient truth is that this editing software is really slow and, like the economy, is held together by toothpicks and donkey spit. Hello, welcome to One Nation. I'm blatantly stealing the name from Pauline Hanson because we're the ones that actually say one nation under God. To quickly introduce myself, I'm a registered independent from the Copper State. I hate both of our major political parties, although I hate the Democrats slightly less than the Republicans. I currently have zero interest in becoming a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. On this channel, I'll be talking about American politics, issues related to American politics, history, foreign politics occasionally, and the occasional live stream. Also, to set the record straight, this is not a massive establishment channel. I have no kind of external backing, and I'm just a low-income minority from Arizona who taught himself how to edit videos. I won't be the fastest at making videos because currently I work a part-time job and I'll be starting college soon. Regarding future videos, I have a video in my drafts about AI, and I plan to make a video later on down the line shitting on the Democratic Party and their leaders. Aside from that, I don't have much ideas for videos right now. If you have any politics or history or whatever related video ideas, leave a comment down below and I'll probably check it out. To anyone watching this video who is going to turn 18 before November or is over 18 and has not yet done this, please remember to register to vote. This has been One Nation. Thank you for watching, and remember, in God we trust.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.